everybody, it's Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Leaving the gym, about to go get some things done. Just wanted to drop in on you. Today is Transformational Tuesday, so we're gonna do the mobile version of this one like we did Monday yesterday. Get it in where I can get it in. So this is the mobile version of Transformational Tuesday. One of the first things I want to do is point you guys to the description box, post box, wherever the text for this video is. There are some unbelievable opportunities for you to advance yourself in a number of different ways. The one thing that I wanted to do is introduce a new program for Myriad Business Solutions, which is the company where me and my team work with helping businesses expand and grow and all the things associated with business consulting, advising, projects, and things of that nature. Normally, to bring the firm on is $25,000, but what we've done now is we have allowed the opportunity to retain me personally as an on-call consultant with a retainer fee of only $2,500, billed at half the price of the hourly rate, which the hourly rate is $500. So half the price of the hourly rate will be $250. So with a 1 hour minimum, and we're talking everything from consulting on writing business plans, marketing analysis, marketing research, expanding, scaling, anything you could think of that is directly related to fixing problems within a business model, or scaling out, growing a business, or creating a business, because this is also the entity through which we do the done-for-you services, where we build out your online business for you, and that's a whole other thing. There may be a link in the description box for that. But anyway, you can do that. Also, there's a link in the box to where, after hearing this Transformational Tuesday message, if you want to connect with me and work with me, there will be a link in there for that as well. As I stated at the beginning of the year, the opportunities to work with me one-on-one will be limited this year in comparison to previous years. I'm not looking for volume, I'm looking for quality, and I'm going to spend a lot more time on live events, whether it's online or whether it's in person. I can reach more people. Can't get the depth of change that I can with a one-on-one, but I can definitely reach more people. And that model is a whole lot more scalable for my business. So the opportunity to work with me won't be as accessible and readily available as it has in the past. So when those opportunities come up, take advantage of them. There won't be as many discounted opportunities as well. I'm worth what I charge, and I want to work with people who can see that value, because I feel I can get more out of that anyway. So that's that. So now let's talk Transformational Tuesdays. Let's keep it simple today. Everything is changing, whether you want it to or not. You're changing. The world around you are changing. The people you know are changing. Society is changing. The political and economic climate is changing. The question is, with change being inevitable, what is it that you would want? Do you want to have more of a say-so in how change impacts your life? So now we're talking about intentional change, or what I prefer to refer to as intentional growth, meaning that things are going to happen. I might as well influence what happens by intentionally setting the path of change. And that comes first and foremost from changing the way I think, the way I view things, my perspective. So what are some ways that you can change your perspective? Because if you don't change your thinking, you're never going to change your life. If you can sit up and say, I want this, I want this. This year is going to be the greatest year of my life. This year is my year, and all the other stuff that people say every freaking year and end up with the same results every year. I'm not talking about, you know, just the natural pulls of life. I don't care what you're in. If you're not being challenged in it, you're not reaching hard enough. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the things you say you want, and you look up this year, you look up this time next year, and you're exactly where you are now, or somewhere in the close proximity. No real true direction, no real true energy, no real true focus, no plan, no strategy, no execution. Well, that's coming because you haven't developed the proper mindset. Your subconscious mind controls 96% of your behavior. So your performance is going to be directly linked to how your subconscious mind works and functions. What are you feeding and programming your subconscious mind? Because it's functioning based off the programming. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the negative because you're training your subconscious mind to focus on the negative? And the thing is, it's much better at finding what's wrong than your conscious mind. So if your conscious mind is focusing on what's negative, your subconscious mind is going to double down. And everything around you is going to seem bad. If you're focusing on fear, if you're more concerned about what may go wrong than you are about the possibilities and the opportunities to make things go right, you're going to have it multiplied by your subconscious. And so everything is going to be a risk, and everything is going to be something that you're afraid to step into, and you'll never take action. So then what do? You're going to have to selectively choose what you allow into your gates. You're going to have to stand guard over your gates, specifically your eyes and your ears. What are you listening to? What are you seeing? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? And you get to control that to a great extent. Obviously, there are public places that you're going to be in that you don't control what you see or hear, but you can control what you give your attention to. And you can control, in many instances, the public spaces you're in. Outside of your place of employment, and for those of you who are churchgoers or religious, that place where you go to practice your faith, everything else is optional. The grocery store you go to is optional. The place you meet your friends for social gatherings is optional. You can choose where you do that at. You can choose whose homes you visit. You can choose whose phone calls you answer. So then it is within your grasp. The thing is, we are so programmed to just move into places and absorb whatever's going on, no matter how much it vexes our split spirit, no matter how diametrically opposed it is to the desires we have for our lives and the hopes and the wishes and the aspirations we have. We will go off into places because we haven't learned that we don't have to operate and move in ways that don't serve us. So let's do this. Let's sit up and say, for the next 2 weeks, you're going to spend 2 hours a day feeding yourself nothing but positive energy, positive information, positive things that are directly related to the thing you say you want. If you want to improve your finances, you need to be reading and studying stories about people who were in the same position as you, who changed their lives financially. Because the idea you have to overcome the idea that it's something about your life, your background, where you come from, what you've been through that won't allow you to do it, because it's not. It's where you're at right now, how you're thinking right now, and what you refuse to do right now. There are some things that you're going to have to change. And how you change your thinking is about what you feed your mind. You also are going to have to start learning different forms of meditation. U.S. Anderson is a guy. His name is, I can't remember his first name, but this is U.S. Anderson. He's got some great meditations. Just look up U.S. Anderson meditations. There are 12 that I do daily. And it's just a part of what it is. And it's giving you just an insight into how close you are to God, how connected you can become to God, how close you are in a part of this whole universe, this creation, and how you can impact it and how it impacts you. And you can sit up and you can do like I did. Find the ones that really resonate and memorize them. I know them by heart. And I can call on the truths of these meditations at any time to remind myself in dark moments of where I'm at and what's going on. And that a lot of what I'm experiencing because I'm allowing myself to. And, that's how I came up with the 90-second rule. There are people that are wondering with certain things that have gone on in my life and a number of different things over the last 12 years especially. Some of the things that I've encountered, and you go all the way back to when I lost my pops 30 years ago. People wonder, how are you moving like this? Why aren't you upset? I've experienced it. I have a 90-second rule. It started out as a 24-hour rule. I'm going to give myself a day to go through this. I'm going to allow myself 24 hours to feel however I want to feel, throw myself a pity party, get mad, throw stuff, whatever. And then in 24 hours, I'm going to pull out. Then I realized something. If I can at the 24th hour decide that I'm no longer going to be in that state of mind, I don't have to wait 24 hours. So then I moved it down all the way to an hour. No, I take that back. I said 90 minutes, so an hour and a half. Then I said, okay, 90 seconds. And it doesn't mean that after 90 seconds, it no longer matters to me. After 90 seconds, it no longer has permission to negatively impact me. I can feel the loss, but I'm not going to let it control me. I can feel the anger, but I'm not going to let it control me. And so this is the thing that you have the power to do when you want to take. Your mind is the most powerful thing you have. It's where you create, it's where you experience, it's where you make the determinations of how your life is going to go. So in essence, you are the determining factor in how your life goes. It doesn't mean that you control every circumstance. It doesn't mean you control every situation, every experience. What it means is that you are in a position to determine exactly how you will respond to anything that happens. And if you can control how you respond, you can control the outcome. You don't get to control everything that's going to come at you, but a lot of stuff you will manifest if you don't watch your thinking. A lot of stuff you can avoid. So my thing is, if you're talking about transforming, you want to be the person that's at the helm of the transformation. You don't want to be transforming or changing based off of the impetus and the forces and the pushes of life from a position of helplessness. So with that being said, I'm going to get ready to get off of here. Don't forget, if you want to take advantage of some of the opportunities that we have to work with me, or if you have a business idea or you have a business and you know, you've been saying, man, I would love to do that, but the 25 grand is a little much. You can now retain me personally for a $2,500 retainer fee, billed at a minimum, and then we'll work with you, and it'll be billable hours with a minimum. But the billable hours will be at half price, so you'll be getting billed $250 instead of $500. So on that note, that information is in there. You want to check it out, you can. On that note, I'm gonna get ready to get out here. As I always say, I live my life on full, so that when I leave this place, I die on it. I'm challenging you to do the same thing. On that note, have an unbelievable remainder.